Hi, so I'm Zara Taylor and I'm Head of Wholesale and Supply at Interflora. So with Interflora, we have a wholesale business, which is part of my remit. And if you like, we supply everything into the florist shops that they need to be a florist, bar the flowers and plants. So, you know, ribbons, vases, wraps, scissors, anything that you'd find in a florist shop. And so, you know, for our own product ranges that you purchase on interflora.co.uk, we sell those into the florist shop, and so we do have a lot of control over those products, what they're made of, what their sustainability credentials are. Of course, what we don't have any direct control over is, you know, all of those florists in our network are independent businesses, so what they do in their own local business, we don't have control over that, but for our own product ranges we do, and we're working with our florists to understand how actually we can help them with packaging in their own local businesses as well. At Interflora, we launched our Buds of Change sustainability programme back in October 2022, so it's been running almost a year now. And that programme encompasses 12 separate projects ranging from net zero and scope 3 emissions right through to diversity and inclusivity. But one of those projects is specifically about packaging and plastics and packaging. So I was really talking this morning about how we kind of have identified what our key priorities should be in terms of trying to reduce the plastics from our industry and from our product ranges, but also talking about some of the challenges that we're hitting in that process. Yeah, so we've kind of identified some of the key products that we need to really focus on in terms of, you know, the total volume that they make up within our product ranges, and, you know, unsurprisingly, you know, those things are things like cellophane. Although our products are wrapped in craft paper, we still have the cellophane bubble that has the water in, because of course it's a fresh product. You know, floral foam is another product that's made from fossil fuels. It's a plastic, it's harmful to marine life, and so that's another a kind of a focus area. And those are quite big challenges for us because, you know, in terms of, for example, cellophane, there's lots of water around in florist shops, and we need to find an alternative that is more sustainable but also works with water as well. And in terms of floral foam, you know, there isn't necessarily a product out in the market at the moment which really does everything that we need it to do, but we're kind of seeking that. They're big challenges, but there are lots of other things that we've been able to do in the short term which are really good steps forward in terms of removing plastics, for example. So around 2 years ago, we completely removed helium balloons from our ranges. So that not only removes all of that single-use plastic packaging, which ultimately ends up in the countryside, you know, damaging our countryside and our wildlife, but also, you know, helium is another sort of product that we didn't really want to be selling, so we removed that. You know, we have made changes to our finishing touches ranges in terms of chocolates. So, you know, you can buy a bouquet for Interflora, you can buy an add-on box of chocolates. So we've worked to remove as much plastic as possible as we can. So the trays within our chocolate boxes are now made of paper. They are currently still wrapped in cellophane. Again, it's that issue with water. You know, florist shops can be quite wet environments. You've got buckets of water, you've got vases of water. And so we're at the moment trying to understand how we can get rid of that final piece of plastic. We've just launched a new teddy bear called Recycled Ralph, and he is completely made of recycled plastic bottles. So all of his fur, all of his filling, his ribbons. You know, there's absolutely no plastic, virgin plastic in Recycled Ralph at all. And whilst that's not a perfect solution, it's certainly a step forward from the product we had previously, which was made from virgin plastic. So, you know, we're taking lots of small steps, but I personally believe in sustainability. You know, if you try and just make those huge leaps, it can be really disheartening and demotivating. And actually, it's these small steps that we're putting in place going forward that's really starting to help and to get the business on board with making these bigger changes. I think what's really important is in the background, we are working on all of our packaging and trying to understand what alternatives are out there. So we will do things like reduce the volume of our boxes, which will automatically take a percentage of packaging that's having to be recycled out. And we will talk about that on our website. So we'll talk to consumers about when we make changes like that and the impact that it's had. Equally, we talk frequently with our florists. So we have regular sort of newsletters that go out to the florists where we talk about things that we're doing. We also have a core sustainability forum with 12 of our florist shops that are very passionate about sustainability, and that we're able to talk to them about changes that we're planning or things we'd like to do, and we can get their feedback in terms of what actually works from a commercial florist point of view. So the educational piece kind of goes both ways, because we need to understand that the changes that we're making, that they do have impacts on the florist as well. And as a part of the business that looks at the product development and the sourcing of these products, we are constantly looking for actually what is the better option. So we're trying to move forward a step at a time. So whilst a brown box made out of recycled board isn't the perfect solution. We'd love to get to the point where we have some kind of circularity, and we could have, I don't know, boxes made out of green waste from florist shops. Ultimately, that would be wonderful. We're not there yet, but we are constantly talking to lots of different organisations about what are they doing, what can they bring to us, what can they show to us. But at the same time, trying to make sure that we're balancing sustainability with commerciality, because it's really important that we make these positive changes for the environment, but we also need to make sure that we're keeping the commerciality in there for our florist shops as well.